Hello all, welcome to daily stock market update. Starting with the MES chart, we were flat basically, didn't do much. You can see on SPY, which is the ETF, it's down 0.22%. So basically just a flat, nothing much happened. It's just going between bulls and bear. It's like a battle zone, but eventually I think we'll be here sometime in April or May timeframe. Okay, let me zoom down a bit. You can see here this is my sell zone, so I'm looking for again 4286. Again, looks like we made a bottom here. This was in March, bottom is done. Now we are just like bouncing between 50 EMA, which is this red line, and then this blue 200 EMA. Okay, so we are just like bouncing in between, and we found support at 20 EMA. This is a white line. So basically, yeah, that's also nothing much happening. It's just going back and forth. It's a nightmare for day traders. So just hold your positions, and we're gonna sell when we are in this zone. All right, that's what's happening. And then if I look at SPY, same thing. You can see there's this resistance trend line. Okay, daily resistance trend line. We're coming close to that. And again, basically, if you see, zoom out a bit, since last year in June, we are just in this consolidation. Okay, so I'm looking for an explosive move, but there are many gaps here. All right, so you can see the gaps at 408, 421, and 427. I'm looking for these gaps to fill. I'm holding my long positions until we are here, and then we're gonna sell sometime in April or May whenever we reach here. Okay, that's my plan. All right, going along with the Nasdaq, again, not much, just like going back and forth. Nasdaq was only down 0.53%. It's finding support around this green line. This is 10 moving average. Okay, a lot of support here with low volume, so it's more like not a very significant day. Tech sector was down in the morning. One thing to note, I want to show you something very important. You can see we're making a divergence now. This is the Nasdaq futures. You can see we're making new low and RSI is going higher. PPO still no divergence, and we got a green buy dot. Okay, so that means it's a very bullish move coming up. Also in 1 hour, this 200 SMA line, it's finding some resistance here. So tomorrow we could close above that, and then we can start dipping higher. Also looking at triple Qs. You can see what happened. We found support around this line. If I show you, okay, here around 3 or 4 area, you can see a lot of support in this here, a lot of confluence here in this area. If I zoom out a bit, you can see how there's so much support here. So we found support here, and then there was this divergence. You can see we're making new high here. RSI was down, PPO was slightly down, so we needed some cool off. We got cool off. Now we are pumping higher. All right. So everything is looking okay. Again, Qs, my targets are here. Let me get rid of this one. Sorry, this one I need to get rid of. So above yellow lines are my targets, 328 and 322. We will reach here sometime April or May, and then we're gonna sell everything and then wait for this dump. All right. VIX down 3.15%. VIX is down. S&P 500 is down. Nasdaq is down. So that's a basically contradictory information. A very bullish move is coming soon, and you can see VIX is down below 20 now. So that's like a really bullish move. Okay, and you can see my projection here since we were here up here. I told you guys this is happening, nothing changed, and now I'm looking for a very bullish move very soon. US 30 almost flat. You can see we put in a bottom already here. If you look at my cycle theory, what I showed you earlier on, we put in a bottom here in MES chart. So Dow Jones is just like now trying to move up. US 2000 is same thing, nothing much change, almost flat, just trying to move up. Crude oil, basically finding resistance here. Okay, there's a big resistance here around 73, so I think the move is done. And if I go to weekly chart, I'll just quickly show you what I'm thinking. You can see on weekly chart, there is a cycle low coming. This is a massive weekly cycle low is coming around June, July. So I think we're almost towards the end of this this bounce, and I think we're going to find some weakness very soon. So I'm staying away from energy sector. So I advise you to stay away. And also this way, smaller cycle low is coming. So we could get from here multiple cycles are here, but look at this overall cycle. So I'm looking to buy here. Again, there's big support around 60 area, so that will be my ultimate zone to buy crude oil. So I'm not interested in crude oil right now. Natural gas is trying to make a new low. very close to previous low. You can see what's happening. Divergence, still divergence are there. PPO has divergence, RSI has divergence, and also another low is coming around April, first week, 10th of April. So it's possible we can break below this previous lows, and there's a lot of support. Any purchases below this previous lows is going to be really good for the long term. I recommend do not buy highly leveraged ETFs like BOIL. You're going to lose a lot in degradation because they have this high expense ratio. So you're going to lose money. So just buy UNG, keep buying UNG. And this is my path. You can see until this here, this is the, if I go to weekly on natural gas, you can see we still have some time. And then again, June, July time frame is when we're going to just chop around. This is an accumulation phase. So keep accumulating natural gas and UNG ETF for this time. Bitcoin basically just doing nothing much. You can see now very close to crossing red PPO is about to cross. So it's a bullish, and also we got this red sell sign. Again, with some strength coming in S&P 500 in April, May, there's possible we could go a little bit more higher if I show you Bitcoin futures. I think it's possible. There is this 31K resistance. We are still away. The second low is away in June, July timeframe. So there's still time. So it is possible we can retest this previous highs around 28 or even go in this zone. But then eventually we're going to dump higher. Okay. My ideal case would be to fill this gap in June, July timeframe and then bounce. Okay. So this will be a really important bottom coming up, and that will be good opportunity to buy Bitcoin. Ethereum, same, although up 4.52%. But let's go to this Ethereum futures and see what's happening. Still a red dot. Okay, I still don't have a green dot, so it's just basically it found support at 1700. You can see 1700 was a big resistance here. Okay, you can see 1700 resistance broke out and dumped. Resistance here, resistance is, so it's just finding support here, probably for a little bounce before dump again. All right, so I'm staying away again. Ethereum, my targets. Probably if you follow Bitcoin cycles, my Ethereum target for June, July time frame is around this big gap fill around 1436 to 1528. All right. Dollar again dumping, nothing changed. Keep it. I think it's already seen the top and it just keeps dumping. So nothing much. Gold had a basically a little bit bounce. So if you look at my analysis before, I told you guys cycle low is coming here around June, July time frame. So it's just going to chop around. It's most likely already put in the stop. Okay, already the stop is in place. So it's just going to chop around and eventually dump. All right. Silver already seen is the previous highs. So I doubt it will break previous highs, but same, it will behave like gold. TNX, which are mortgage rates, basically going higher. There are multiple gaps here. I'm not sure if they're going to fill that gap. It's possible we could go all the way high and then dump, but there are multiple gaps down as well. And also it's finding support on this trend line. But I think worst case, it's going to go fill this gap and end up, right? But I think my targets here are below these green gaps to fill. All right, bonds. Let's quickly look at bonds. Bonds are weakening. This is not a good sign. So it looks like bonds are saying something else, and then stock market is saying something else. But it's possible we can come back and find support in this area and then bounce. But if stock market is going to bounce, I do expect this little bit more pump before we come down late June, July. All right. Let's quickly look at stocks. Tesla, it was very close to filling this gap and still left this gap. So I was like anticipating this gap to fill, and that would be a big relief if that happened, but they did not let this gap fill. So until this gap is filled, I will always have this in my mind. If you look at my videos from last couple of days, I've been telling you there's a big gap. It came below, very close to filling this gap. I think there might be a lot of people waiting for this gap to fill. Around, it was less than 0.8% before they bounce. So market is trying to trick everybody. I think there will be a lot of people were waiting this gap to fill to buy, and they tricked everybody. Okay, they did not even go to fill this gap. They just left it 0.87% left before filling. So just tomorrow, if we open here, anytime, any day, if we open here, that would be most likely the bottom, right? So Tesla is doing its thing, low volume, and it's going up. So my prediction is still here. You can see there's this only one other massive gap here. I don't think it's going to fill soon. So tomorrow, if we gap down and open here, you should be looking to buy it. And there's a great recovery towards the end of the day. So it doesn't really need to, even this gap which I talked about, it doesn't need to fill right now. It can fill maybe after earnings. Look at all these gaps upsides. Okay, so look at all these gaps we have to fill from upside. So I think most of these gaps will be filled. I'm looking at least to around 40% upside from here until earnings. So we'll see how it goes. There's also another gap around 285. So Tesla, once it moves, it moves. You see this massive move here, almost 100% upside. So if they get some good news, or who knows what, it's going to move very fast. One other thing, this 200 SMA is around 215. Once it closes above that, I don't think there's a lot of resistance here. There will be a big pump here, okay, to reach previous all-time highs, all right? Tesla, Amazon, and Netflix are the laggers, and other big tech companies are doing good. So I think these three stocks will bring Nasdaq to new highs for the next leg higher, which I'm expecting in April, May. This next leg higher, above this leg, this is what I'm expecting, right? Okay, moving along to other stocks. Let's quickly see Apple. Apple was down 0.4%. Again, very low volume, and I think my projections are still same, and I'm expecting three gaps to fill. Nothing changed. Amazon, again, very low volume. This big gap I'm expecting to fill. Google, Google. Oh my God, look at all these gaps to fill up. Okay, only one massive gap here, but it doesn't need to fill now. It's finding support of this 220 EMA line, and it's close slightly below this 200 SMA, but that's okay. I think there are a lot of gaps here, which most of them we should try to fill. And actually, this one we opened a gap today on Meta. We gapped down, so most likely going to fill this tomorrow. And again, there are multiple gaps to fill up. So I'm looking for a bullish. So from now from now until basically April, May, I'm just looking for some of these gaps to fill. So I'm really not bearish, no matter what people are saying. I'm just looking for these gaps. Snowflake, again, these gaps are here to fill. NVDA, people trying to short. It's not going to go down, guys. It's just going to keep ripping higher. I don't know why people keep trying short. Until all the shorts are away, these guys will keep ripping it higher, right? AMD was down heavily in the morning, but they recovered fine. I think by earnings, I don't think earnings are going to be good because look at all these gaps on the downside to fill. There's only one upside gap and many to fill downside. Okay, so I'll be very scared during earnings time on basically AMD. XLE doing its thing just because of this small bounce on oil. It's bouncing a bit, but there's this massive gap, so I'm looking for that gap to fill. Whenever that happens, whenever that next cycle low is due, most likely will fill this gap. That will be a good area to buy. Utilities continuing the bounce, okay, near my support area, keep bouncing. Healthcare down 0.6%, but still very close to. These are all very good accumulation zones, so you should be looking to accumulate all healthcare stocks. Financial kind of flat. Most likely we made a bottom last week on Friday, so it's just bouncing. XLI, which is Dow Jones, very similar to Dow Jones, very close to support, finding support on this 200 SMA blue line. And health stock, it's very similar to sorry, not health stock, the Nasdaq tech stock XLK, very similar to triple Q, so not a lot to talk here. Communication sector, again gap here above, so I'm looking for that to fill. Real estate sector, multiple gaps here, so eventually looking to form a bottom here. Also, let me see if it made a divergence here. Still no divergence. Oh yeah, it is a divergence. You can see new low here, and then RSI is going higher. So it's putting in a bottom. Okay, this is a sign of bottom forming process. All right. Okay, I think guys that's about it. Thank you, and please like my videos on your way out, and please share with your friends and family. And I have a good, happy Tuesday, and good luck for happy Wednesday trading day. Take care. Bye.